A headline is going around that says a Middle East war may force Nigerians to work from home. And at first, it sounds far away, like something that does not concern daily life here. But when you really understand what is happening, it becomes very close, very real, and very important to you. Right now, tension in the Middle East has grown into a serious conflict involving countries like Israel and Iran. And this is not just about land or politics. It is about energy, oil, and the global system that keeps economies running. One of the most important routes in the world for oil supply, the Strait of Hormuz, has been affected. This route is like a major highway for oil, and when something goes wrong there, the whole world feels it.
So what happens next? Oil supply drops, fear rises in global markets, and prices begin to climb. That is exactly what is happening now. Oil prices are going up fast, and when oil becomes expensive, everything else follows: transport, food, electricity, and even basic services. Now here is where it becomes personal for Nigerians. Nigeria produces crude oil, yes, but we still depend heavily on imported fuel. So when global oil prices rise, we do not escape it. Instead, we feel it even more. Petrol prices begin to increase, transport fares go up, running generators becomes more expensive, businesses start to struggle, and slowly, everyday life becomes more costly.
This is where one very important voice comes in, Aliko Dangote. He recently warned that if this situation continues, Nigerians may need to return to something many people thought was left in the past: working from home, just like during COVID-19. Think about that for a moment. Not because of a health crisis this time, but because of an energy crisis. If fuel becomes too expensive, companies may not afford to run offices daily. Workers may not afford to commute every day. Even small businesses that depend on generators may not keep up with rising costs. So the easiest option becomes stay home and work remotely. And this is not just talk. Around the world, governments and organizations are already advising people to reduce travel, save energy, and work from home where possible. This is how serious the situation is becoming. But let's bring it back home again. Imagine waking up and fuel prices have doubled. Transport to work now takes a big part of your salary. Businesses start cutting costs. Some offices reduce working days. Others ask employees to work from home. For some people, that sounds convenient, but for many Nigerians, it is not that simple. Because working from home in Nigeria comes with its own challenges. Electricity is not always stable. Internet access is not always reliable. And for millions of people who earn daily income, traders, drivers, artisans, working from home is not even an option. So while some people may adapt, others may struggle more. This is why this story matters so much. It is not just about war. It is about how a global event can quietly change how you live, how you work, and how you spend your money. Now let's make this even more real. If this situation continues, you may start noticing small changes first. Transport fares going up again, food prices rising slowly, businesses adjusting their hours, employers talking about hybrid work, and before you know it, working from home is no longer a choice, it becomes a necessity for many. And here's something to think about.
During COVID-19, many people discovered that remote work could actually work. But that situation was different. There was global support, digital systems improved quickly, and people had time to adjust. This time, it may come suddenly, driven by cost, not preparation. So the big question is Nigeria ready for this kind of shift again? Are businesses ready? Are workers ready? Are you ready? Take a moment and really think about your own situation. If transport becomes too expensive, would you prefer to stay home and work? Or would you still choose to go out daily, no matter the cost?
Drop your answer in the comments. I really want to hear what you think. And if you are enjoying this kind of real-life breakdown, make sure you like this video and subscribe so you never miss important stories like this. Because at the end of the day, this is more than news. It is your life, your routine, and your future we are talking about.
So stay informed, stay prepared, and stay smart about what is coming next. Now, let's take it one step further, because knowing what is happening is good, but knowing what to do next is what really matters. If this situation continues, the smartest people will not wait for things to get difficult before they adjust. They will start preparing early, quietly, and wisely.
The first thing to think about is your daily movement. If fuel prices keep rising, transportation will become one of the biggest expenses for many Nigerians. So it may be time to start asking yourself simple but powerful questions. Can I reduce how often I travel? Can I combine tasks into fewer trips? Can I begin to explore remote options for what I do? For those who work in offices, this is the time to start having conversations. Not complaints though, smart conversations. Talk to your employer about flexible work options. Even if it is just 1 or 2 days from home in a week, it can make a big difference over time.
For business owners, this is even more important. Rising fuel costs can quietly eat into profits without warning. So this is the time to look at your operations closely. Where are you spending the most on energy? Are there ways to reduce waste? Can you adjust working hours or introduce partial remote systems for staff? Small changes now can protect you later. And then there is something many people overlook: digital readiness. If working from home becomes more common again, your ability to function online will become a major advantage. This means having reliable internet, knowing how to use basic online tools, and being comfortable communicating digitally. The people who adapt faster are usually the ones who already prepared before the shift happened. Think of it this way: the world is slowly rewarding people who can work from anywhere. Now, let's talk about personal finances, because this is where many people feel the pressure first.
When prices begin to rise, the natural reaction is to spend the same way and hope things stabilize. But a smarter move is to adjust early. Watch your spending. Focus on essentials. Cut down on things that are not urgent. Even small savings on transport or fuel can add up quickly over time. And if you rely on fuel for your daily work, maybe for a generator or transportation, this is the time to think creatively. Is there a way to reduce usage? Can you share costs? Can you adjust your schedule to be more efficient? These are simple questions, but they can make a big difference. Now, here is something deeper to reflect on.
Situations like this remind us that the world is more connected than we think. A conflict happening thousands of kilometers away can shape decisions in homes across Nigeria. It can influence how you move, how you work, and how you plan your future. That is why staying informed is not just important, it is powerful. And let's be honest, this may not happen overnight. There may not be a sudden announcement telling everyone to stay home. It will likely come gradually. Small changes, small adjustments, until one day it feels normal. That is how big shifts usually happen.
So, instead of waiting for that moment, the question becomes, will you be prepared before it happens, or will you be forced to adjust when it is already difficult? If you have been following closely, you will notice that this is not just a story about war or oil. It is a story about adaptation. The people who stay ahead are not always the strongest or the richest. They are the ones who pay attention early and adjust wisely. Now I want to bring it back to you again.
If things continue in this direction, what is the first change you would make in your daily life? Would you reduce travel? Would you push for remote work? Or would you look for new ways to earn that are less dependent on movement? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's learn from each other. And if you are getting value from this, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because these are the kinds of real-life conversations that help you stay ready, not just informed. There is still more to this story, especially how this situation could affect jobs, salaries, and business opportunities in Nigeria.